invitation to commemorate our 50th wedding anniversary.
Very happy.
It all happened here, you know, in this hotel where we had our reception almost 50 years ago, but then we disappeared to Rosslare. Anyhow, although when it all started here, although we had already the Nigerian registrar's consent, you know, over 5 shilling, hands over the Quran, to end Teresa's situation as a spinster and mine as a bachelor. But then Daddy Kinsler said, the only way for her to marry is when I lead her up the aisle in my church in Kamolin, and not before. So, what could I do? The German fellow in those days looked after in a, well, somewhat, I say, uncertain way. Because the Germans at that time, they were buying land all around here and put fences. And of course the Irish didn't like fences. They liked to walk past, you know, where they used to do that all the years. So anyhow, the German fellow assembled his small family and came to Kamolin to start this marriage that has lasted now 50 years. At this early time, my mother Josephine was introduced to Irish coffee. No. When she thought that when she had to drink coffee in Ireland, it had to be Irish coffee. Oh. So this went on for a time in Courtown, because we were put outside, you know, not in the glen where all the rest was, but now in Courtown. And when I came about to settle for the bill, I said, gosh, what's all this? Irish coffee a few times a day. And my father said, son, come here. Recently I noticed your mother is in a very funny way. Oh God. You know, Irish coffee. Anyhow, it is a nice story, but it is a true story. Now, looking back at those 50 years, which started off with about 10 years in Nigeria, where our children, Andreas, Mark, and Christoph, were born in the Kakuri Mission Hospital, yeah, now, which you know very well. Sister Raphael brought them all to the light of the world. But now they are grown up themselves, having family, and given us 4 lovely grandchildren. After that, about 30 years living in Essen-Kettwig in Germany, where the children grew up, went to school, with me being a very frequent traveler job-wise, leaving the upbringing and education of the children to Teresa. People like me were called the away family man. Thank God all went well, thanks to Teresa's strong hand and willpower. We retired for another 10 years to Portugal, which we enjoyed in a friendly ambiente with sunshine and playing golf. Describing our time in a somewhat bigger way, one could say that we were blessed and thankful to have managed good and a few bad times, which, however, came to us from externally, not internally. Internally, everything was okay. And to have reached the golden marriage status in a relatively good condition and health. The bones and joints start squeaking here and there, but it shows that we are still alive. Blessed and thankful we are to be embedded in a big family like the Kinsella clan. Remembering that when I was introduced to the family in the Glen, that I went up and down like a yo-yo, you know, to salute always one after the other in the family, and it was a never-ending passing by, and of course I did not dare to show any weakness sitting between Daddy and Mummy Kinsella. Today the family still shows strength by being here, and where the younger generation takes the place of those who have unfortunately passed away. We saw this morning Joe and Kathleen in the nursing home, and I think this is the best place, and they looked after very, very well, and I had asked in my invitation that if you have a little penny extra, we should donate it to the nursing home. Where's the box?
Where's the box?
No, not later. Anyhow, but we put there a little trésor where you can put in your penny.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Blessed and thankful we are to Father Gerald. Who not only provides spiritual guidance,
yes,
but also nutritional means. When he brought to us in Kaduna bags of potatoes from the plateau in Jos. Needless to say that he also liked Teresa's fried special potatoes in those days.
On Saturday morning, Sunday morning.
Gerald accompanied us for many, many years on many occasions of our family, like baptisms, like weddings, and many anniversaries. We are very grateful to him to be always available for us like today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lord. Blessed and thankful that we always had wonderful neighbors that helped us in time of need and caretaking. Michael and Irene here, you know, safeguarded our little cottage on the Ferry Carrick Hill for many years and advised us on local matters and were helpful that we always had enough sticks around the cottage to keep it warm in wet and cold days. Thank you very much.
very important. Very good.
Then Dana and Bert. Our present neighbors in Germany, who gave us shelter and asylum for about 8 months when our house had this very disastrous fire and it was inside at least completely spoiled. Anyhow, during the time that the house was refurbished and we could move in again, it was for about 8 months that they took us into their house in 2 little rooms and looked after us, and we never had a fight or a bad word. We were a fantastic WG, as we say, living community, and helped each other and had fun. And we never had a fight in the bathroom, over the bathroom.
Very good. That's a big achievement.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As for me, little old me, blessed and thankful that I met and married this Irish.
Colleen.
The Irish, you know, was always said by a good friend of us in Portugal, and everybody knew the Irish was Teresa. And that this marriage has lasted so long in good times, and maybe also in a few not so good. But anyhow, we managed. Teresa is a strong woman, knows and insists to go her way, and has mottoed her life with the word, think positive. This was inspiring to us, to the children, and to many of our friends. I call her sometimes Mummy, which for me personally is an expression for love and endearment, for being protective and taking care, especially for being helpful, not only in our family, but also beyond, and particularly and particularly in her Irish family. Let's hope that this, plus reasonable good health and the optimism into the future
Yes.
will last for many more years.
Yes.
And that you all stay happy and healthy as far as possible.
Amen.
Salute you.
Bravo!
Lovely hands.
Cheers.
Something to drink?
Cheers.
Cherry or slaughter?
Cheers.
You never lost it, Hans. You never lost it.
Teresa, you're not.